Sushion clearly knows his home. An unbreakable steel. Road but facing an attack on the entire building. Not a little nervous. Must be alive. Sure enough, Joe Care randomly sent a message. Little for eyes except him. Everybody else started a new group chat. I didn't expect it. He actually invited his eldest brother Chen Hao into the group chat. Chen Hao promises not to attack anyone else now. Let go of the previous grievances for the time being. But Chen Hao said that if the operation is successful, he wants half of the supplies for the Zhang family. Although the people are dissatisfied, but dare not say anything. After all, now as long as there is a stutter, anything will do. At this time, Joe Kier's message rang again. They are ready to go to your house. How do you deal with them? The whole building is basically moving. You have to be careful. Zhang Yi only replied to one I know, but did not forget to remind Joe Kier. Anyway, don't worry about it for a while. Remember, I only remind you once. Joe Kier frowned, eyes full of curiosity, but he listened to Zhang Yi's words. He didn't come to attack Zhang Yi with that group of people. Home at this time, I saw that Uncle Yu also sent a message to Zhang Yi. See, Zhang is running away. Everyone went to your house, ready to break down the door and snatch your supplies. Zhang Yi thought, this could be the rear good in this scene. Soon after, Zhang Yi felt the ground tremble. Come and see the crowd. Came to Zhang Yi's door aggressively. Slammed the door without saying a word. Zhang Yi looked at the surveillance in the house, but did not find Chen Hao and Zeke dazzling, etc. It seems that these people are scapegoats without a doubt. Zhang Yi was no longer soft. Since you want to steal my resources, you have to suffer the consequences. Nail high voltage door stuck. The people who smashed the most instantly turned into hammers. The others backed away in fright. I saw a few small ones in front. Karami has been electrocuted directly. Absorbed that someone is retiring at this time. Unexpectedly, he was stopped by Chen Hao with a gun. What are you going to do? Give me back. This is the reaction part of everyone. They became daredevils. The atmosphere was tense. Then brainwash everyone in this cold winter end. Zhang Yi ignores the feelings of his neighbors. Wanton mutilation of neighbors. He doesn't deserve food and shelter. We must avenge the dead. As long as we work together to break it, supplies for his house, it's sure to get us all through this winter. Don't be afraid. Zhang Yi has no means. Only death awaits him. Four-eyed boy's passionate speech. It actually made a lot of people crazy about it. The crowd lived in hunger and cold for a month. They are willing to give everything to be fed a bite. Then they found a big stick. Crazy impact on Zhang's anti-theft tune. Bang, 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 deafening sound. Zhang Yi worked harder to make them. He actually took out his 88-inch stereo. Just played a surrender song. Keep them entertained. The crowd who heard the song became even more angry. I can't wait to rush in now to avenge my neighbors. Then everyone pounded the door harder. After some time, everyone collapsed to the ground from exhaustion. I just found the door of the Zhang family. Just a few scratches. Everyone is very confused about what kind of door this is. How can it be so strong? Just then, a man walked over from a distance, staring at the door and looking again and again. Is this a bank-grade vault security door? I've only seen this kind of door in Myber's vault. I didn't expect his house to have. Hearing this, everyone asked, can't this door be knocked down? Don't think about it. Even if you use a bomb, you can't blow it up. You can't enter through this door without the key. Zhang Yi at this time. Zhang Yi is like a pet. Watching Joe Ke go crazy. I ate 10 Tyrannosaurus Rex. You told me it was only half a hair? Can't eat any more. I want to lose weight. What is the master's order today? Zhang Yi randomly threw him a cold suit. Lead him to the balcony. Said with a gloomy face. Take the slave and walk to the firing port. Go and smash all yesterday's artwork. I just lived in Jiaokou 2.5 days after Zhang Yi's house. I felt a strong sense of crisis, and I realized that if I had nothing to do, likely to be replaced by anyone. It was just now. Zhang Yi led Joe Kier to the balcony. Joe Kier looked dazed. Curious, what are we going to do? Zhang Yi pointed, facing the people outside the door who are still discussing countermeasures. A society that freezes itself into an ice sculpture. But smash that ice sculpture. Moment. Take out a 10-meter long stick-lock stick from the same space. Handed it to Joe Kier. Joe Kier looked confused when she saw this. But it's also a handful. Hearing this, he asked, aren't all people already dead? Why are you still doing this? Zhang Yi's face was gloomy throughout the building. Just start shooting. Basically, everyone wants to die. We have to do something. I thought that Chen Jinghao was still next door. It's an eyesore there. It's more disgusting than eating a ton of xiang. Zhou Qier suddenly realized something about this. Are you asking us to do it again? Chen Jinghao and the others are all dead. You are still so cowardly. Zhang Yi was so righteous that I was calm. Whoosh whoosh sound one after another. Then Zhang Yi made a well gesture. For our future good life, please send Dr. Zhou. Zhou Qier was speechless. I thought I had never seen such fear of death. It's as steady as an old dog. Although he complained about Zhang Yi, but the body is still honest. I climbed over the balcony and came to the next door. Looking at the pedestrian ice sculpture in front of you, Zhang Yi didn't even bother to paint. Zhou Ken did not hesitate at all. The one-trick dog stick method smashed down. After all, he is studying medicine. The resistance to corpses is not that great. At this time, Zhang Yi had been recording with his mobile phone. Zhou Kao looked back. What's the use of you recording this with a confused look on your face? Zhang Yuan guide. I want to send the video to the owner group. Show them who is the boss of this building. Group no, one who just appeared. Chicken killing police. So that they don't dare to harass me again in the future. Not only that, I want to replace Chen Jinghao's place in their hearts. Zhou Qier nodded, smash harder. Until the end, he didn't even give up a scumbag and returned to the house. I just saw a video uploaded to the owner. At this time, the neighbors clicked on the video curiously when they saw it. The first one got a packed lunch and got off work. When I saw that it was Chen Jinghao and others, and the neighbors were very excited. I don't know how many people laughed. The devil is finally dead. I don't know how many people are in pain. Brother Long, you can see clearly. He can finally go out. Then Zhang Yi sent a message that Chen Jinghao was dead. From now on, the whole building will be in my arms. Zhou Qier snuggled up beside Zhang Yi. Everyone can't care about others. Staring at the replies in the group. You killed Chen Jinghao. You are too amazing. Zhang Yi, I want to give birth to a monkey for you. Zhang Yi, do you still have food at home? I'm going to starve to death. I want to live, there's all kinds of stuff. Completely forgot that Zhang Yi Dong Dong killed the society. At this moment, Zhang Yi's phone suddenly became a little quiet. It turned out to be Fang Yu, running desperately to the stairs. Zhang Yi was immediately surprised. This White Lotus is still alive. Then he connected to Fang Yuking's phone. Zhang Yi, you are with Zhou Qier now. Since Chen Jinghao is dead, Brother Zhang Yi, can you come to pick up Kinger? Didn't you promise Kinger? Don't be with that bitch. Kinger is your only one. At this moment, Zhou Qier heard what the White Lotus said. Screams everywhere. Instantly, a sense of crisis arose. Holding Zhang Yi's hand is more thrilling. Dark in my heart. I must be a valuable person. Otherwise, Zhang Yi may be replaced at any time. At this time, Zhang Yi said, I really didn't expect it. You're not dead yet. Desperate Fang Yuking heard Zhang Yi brilliant. His eyes lit up instantly. It turned out that Brother Zhang Yi thought I was dead. The people who were injured by the wings were lying on the ground like this. Let that bitch live in your house. Brother Lu, don't worry, love is very good. Come and pick me up. We live together. Just at this time, Wang Min and her green tea girlfriend discovered Fang Yuking's abnormality. The two rushed over directly. Fang Yuking, you bastard, take me with you, or you'll never get out of this door. Bitch, let me go. People don't dare to rescue at all. I'm going to find Brother Zhang Yi. What Zhang Yi and Zhou Qier heard was called enlistment. Suddenly, Zhou Qier gently snuggled up beside Zhang Yi. You can rest assured that I will never be like them. Hugging Zhang Yi's arm tightly. I'm afraid he'll run away in the next second. Zhang Yi really wanted to say this at this moment. Zhou Ke is undoubtedly a beautiful woman. It's very lethal to him. Suddenly, see the rusty bow and arrow. An evil thought arose in Zhang Yi's mind. If let White Lotus saw me with Zhou Qier, do you think he will go crazy? White Lotus Fang Yuking was finally sanctioned by Zhang Yi. I always feel like a muse, only being licked by men. Little do they know that this is just Zhang Yi's canon. Just now, Zhang Yi suddenly spawned an evil. Everyone knows that it is difficult for people with heavy swords to live. Say Kinger to the phone. You're a good person. But you came too late. I've been waiting for you for a long time, but I haven't seen you come to me. Now I have met someone better. You will definitely bless me, right? Then Zhang Yi picked up his phone and started taking selfies. Zhou Qi's coquettish face in the camera. It really makes women jealous. Then she directly sent the photo to Fang Yuking. It's only a matter of time before you get your lunch. The green tea girl who is still tearing each other on the ground. Hear Zhang Yi's words. Can't help but be confused. The White Lotus broke free and picked up the phone. When you see Joke here, Little Bird Yiren's clothes are by Zhang Yi's side. Desperate Fang Yuking shouted angrily no. Zhang Yi, you can't treat me like this. Kinger is the person who loves you the most in the world. He must have lied to you, believe me. I can only keep greeting the Zhang family. Give me a chance to prove it to you. Zhang Yi sneered and said no need. Kerr and I are in love. He kills you in seconds regardless of appearance, education, and talent. Not even scum left. Do you think you are qualified? Let's not contact in the future. I'm afraid you will misunderstand. Fang Yuking was already stunned in place. The ignorant in the ignorance immediately knelt down and cried bitterly. I don't believe it. And all that came back was the music in the room. Zhang Yi, you obviously licked me for 2.5 years. Why do you change your mind when I take the initiative now? This pain and despair is double because Joe here is better than Fang Yuking in all aspects. He is left with an incompetent. After Wang Min and her green tea girlfriend saw this situation, that's called a collab. It's a perfect match. You deserve it today. It's all your fault. At this moment, Zhang Yi felt that the timing was about the same. It's pointless to keep playing. The four-eyed boy at this time. Just hang up the phone and block it. White Lotus turned her head and pulled Xiaoko. The eyes of the two met. Do you think I'm very cold? I saw Joe here as breathing became rapid. A slight flush appeared on his face. Then he said, I believe you do this. There must be your reason. No matter when, where, or what the situation is, Kerr will support you unconditionally. Suddenly said, don't worry. Zhang Yi only patted the next week's mouth lightly. I don't want to explain too much. Simply say that you understand. Joe here cooked a table of food at noon. Stand respectfully to the side. Tell Zhang Yi that the meal is ready. You can eat now. Master Zhang Yi said calmly, you made it yourself. Why don't you try it? After all, caution is etched in Zhang Yi's bones. I have a way to get into his house. Just then, the long-lost Aunt Lin suddenly sent a message at the owner's office. The official has come to announce. The snow disaster is coming soon. You all listen to me now. Hand over the food and distribute it uniformly. Otherwise, I will send you all to Hengdong Tungji. No one in the group paid attention to Aunt Lin at all. However, Zhang Yi picked up his mobile phone and thought about money. This is the four-eyed boy reaching out and pointing at the wall of Zhang Yi's house. Aunt Lin wasn't the first one robbed by Chen Hao. It's a miracle they're alive. Zhou Qi revealed a nervous rope. When I went to see Lin Xiaohu, seeing that they were pitiful, I gave them some supplies. When Yin Zhangyi looked at Zhou Ke, so scared that he hurriedly explained, it was just bloodshed. Just started. The door to his house is made of gold. I didn't expect it to be so serious. I thought it would pass soon. I need to know if this is the case. Absolutely will not act rashly. I am not the virgin. Please believe me. Zhangyi poured a glass of bread for Zhou Ke. That's not the point anymore. If I'm right, the little supplies you gave him, is it the wall too? He should have finished eating long ago. What do you think he has survived until now? Zhou Kier was surprised. I almost missed my meal. Then he said that Lin Xiaohu was on medication, died in about 2.5 days. Zhang Yi smiled evilly. That makes sense. In the past, Aunt Lin has always said that Lin Xiaohu is his heart. Everyone suddenly realized when they heard it. I can't wait to put it in my mouth. He's such a tough guy. Do what you say. Suddenly there was a ha-ha-ha of laughter outside the window. It turned out to be Brother Long from the opposite building dancing. Seeing the situation on a sunny day, Brother Long has left. I will never live. Zhou Kier sighed in pain. Everyone is crazy. When will this bloodbath end? Yes, we can't smash the door, we can smash the wall. Nature is unpredictable. Who knows, it's like the recent typhoon and flood. Hope to go soon. When the two were talking, Zhang Yi's phone rings. It's actually Uncle Oil in the community. Zhang Yi picked up the phone. I saw Uncle Oil hesitant. It seems that there is something you want to ask. I haven't seen Shiri Mei in 2.5 years. Littleford Master, are you really our ghost military advisor? I didn't expect it. He actually found Uncle Liu, the pick of man. I have to admire this woman's eyes. It's really good at picking blades accurately throughout the community. Second only to Zhang Yi. Obviously, he is not as innocent as he seems. Just now, the uncle called Zhang Yi. It's like I'm asking for something. Zhang Yi thought to himself that Uncle Yu was doing it in this apocalypse. So many of us. And there are a lot of teachers who practice martial arts. The duck can give him some sweetness now. It's not bad to do things for me in the future. Then Zhang Yi said, Uncle Liu, you don't have to be polite to me. If you encounter any difficulties, let's just say, as long as I can help, I will definitely try my best to help you. I'm really sorry. It won't take long to smash this wall. Trouble Jong-yi is like this. Shelly doesn't have his daughter sugar treasure fever, but I don't have medicine at home. Look at the state of the child. If you don't need treatment, I'm afraid it won't last long. My mom and I are dying. Do you have any medicine there? Jong-yi's eyes stared low and far at this time. The first big scratch will be born in 2023. It's not easy to think about women. Jong-yi, you devil. In the last life, he lived longer than Jong-yi. Uncle Liu has been a bachelor all his life. Met this woman under the age of 30. It still doesn't seem to hold. To be able to hook up with such a big injustice and raise a child for him, that's his job. However, Jong-yi does not intend to be successful in other people's personal affairs. Then he said that it felt like this. I have a few boxes left here. Come and pick it up now. You would never expect us to have this way, would you? Don't be polite to me. We have known each other for so many years. I have always regarded you as a love letter. After Jong-yi hung up the phone, Jo Kier hurriedly handed over a cup of black tea. Ask him if you have such a good relationship with Uncle Yu. But you need to know, human relations is based on interests. This is at the end of this winter. At this time, Jong-yi was at home watching them discuss. It's more obvious. Uncle Liu is a kind person, and someone with a force comparable to Ultraman. Let him owe me a favor. It may be useful in the future. Jo Kier is delusional about this. Jong-yi just realized. Looking at the harmless sunshine boy, and such a cunning side. 2.5 seconds later. I don't know what I'm talking about. There was a knock on the door of Jong-yi's house. Jong-yi habitually glanced at the surveillance camera, but unexpectedly found that there is not only an uncle at the door, another one is holding a baby. The woman Jong-yi wondered what he was doing here, although his whole body was wrapped in thick clothes. But Jong-yi understands. He must be that Belma Ziling. Jong-yi walked to the door and knowingly asked if it was Uncle Yu. Yeah, it's me. It's just that the music is too loud. Immediately after, Zilimai said Jong-yi first with a crying voice. Our mythical beast has a high fever. Please save him. Jong-yi didn't talk too much nonsense with him either. Just threw the medicine out of the firing hole. Uncle Liu sees this. Immediately pick up the excited child. Just about to thank Jong-yi, Zilimai suddenly opened her mouth to Jong-yi. However, Jong-yi was not flustered. I beg you for a shit. Can you let the baby stay at your house for a while? You have a fireplace to keep you warm. The beast is sick now. I'm really worried about him freezing. Can you do us a favor? Uncle Yu next to him was stunned for a moment. Suddenly, I felt a little embarrassed, but when I saw Ziling, there was no aggrieved look in her eyes. I thought to myself, he didn't know what to say. At this time, Jong-yi had a gloomy face. This is kicking the nose on the face. I'm afraid of the shadow of the children of the world. Enjoy yourself as a mother. Then he said with a royal face, the door is to unload the big metal. You also know that I am to people now. Some things are inconvenient. Besides, the coal at home has run out. Let's see what they're up to next. The temperature is not much higher than outside. Hear Jong-yi's words. Uncle Liu also softly persuaded Jong-yi too. We've had enough. Take the medicine and go back. Let's wear a few more layers of clothes. Can't freeze. Sherry may burst into tears, please. For the sake of having a big brother. Let Xiao Bao lie her. At this time, Jong-yi's face was gleaming. Anyway, no matter how many means there are not as many as mine. This woman is in some trouble, and if wins her, a box worth 1 billion. Jong-yi gave it to a woman casually. However, not only is he not grateful, still waiting for it. Want to sow discord? Originally, Jong-yi looked at Uncle Yu's face. Let them come and get it. Medicine to treat the baby. It took a month. Who ever thought of Cheryl? But they want the baby to live in it even more. He was thinking about it. Once the baby comes in, Sherry May, you can live in the name of taking care of children. At that time, it will be easy for Jing Shen to worship God, but difficult for him to worship God. I saw Jong-yi holding his arms and leaning against the door to thank her. If you make this request before the end of winter, I will definitely promise you all the hard work. Now you should also know, everyone in the whole neighborhood wants to rob my house, want my life. I'm really scared. Don't let strangers in. I hope you also understand my concern for Uncle Benyu. You should understand. The uncle nodded again and again, and he's sort of in the middle, and it's very awkward. He is also unwilling to continue to trouble Jong-yi to create such an apocalyptic safe house. Then he said loudly to Zilima, "Zhongyi is good enough for us. Otherwise, who would be willing to share the medicine now? You know how rare a bottle of cold medicine is these days." Zilima looked wrong. It does not refute that there is an uncle, just looking at him with tears in my eyes. But he didn't let Dr. Zhou live in their house. Zhongyi grinned. "Zhou Kier is my girlfriend. What's the problem? If you can destroy it at will." Zhou Kier, do you hear this? Although I understand that Zhongyi is just perfunctory to the other party, but I still can't help but curl the corners of my mouth slightly. Relative to fact, women still prefer the sweet words of men, even if you know it's fake. They are self-perpetuating. Think that's true. Sherry may look at the baby in her arms at this time. It seems to be thinking about the next strategy. Then even if I Zhongyi deserve to die, Uncle Yu's face is not so red. Pull Sherry May. Obviously a little angry, said, "Let's go. Don't burden Zhang for another day. Let's not overdo it." Zhongyi is already very loyal. I really got angry when I saw Uncle Yu. Zilima immediately changed to a look of grievance. I don't want to do that either. Isn't it all about the kids? Random. At this moment, Uncle Yu said sorry to Zhongyi in the room. "Zhongyi, don't bother about this with him." Thank you, Zhongyi, for replying, "It's alright. We can all understand this feeling. In this apocalypse, we must help and support each other." Through surveillance video, Zhongyi saw that Uncle Yu had already led. Sherry May went downstairs. Everyone swung the hammer and axe in their hands and began to smash violently. Then Zhongyi walked back and sighed. More vigilance against Sherry May. 2:05. I saw Zhou Kier comforting her master softly. "You don't have to care about him. There are many such people now." Zhongyi felt a lot more relaxed in an instant. At this time, Zhou Kier is selling both meat and art, arranged Zhongyi clearly. After Uncle Yu came home, I saw a strong man who only used it for a while. Loud stingy against Cherry Man. Say what you just said. How can you get someone to help you with your child? It's so messy outside now. Who knows if it's a human or a ghost? Zhongyi gave it to you. It means he is someone you can trust. How can you push your luck? Zilima said softly. "I do it for the kids." The wall cracks. The only reason I'm alive now is the baby. What's going to happen to him? What's the point of me living? At this time, Uncle Yu's tone also eased down. We should at least be grateful. Zhongyi has helped me twice. If it weren't for Zhongyi, there's no way I'm hoarding that much. I won't live to now. This is a great kindness. Cement falling to the ground. I will definitely find a chance to repay you. At this moment, Sherry May really has 8 ribs in her chest. 9 are anti-bone. Looking at Uncle Yu like a bird and a person, say you don't have to be so grateful to Zhongyi. At least he doesn't trust you that much yet. Uncle Yu was stunned. I almost yelled at you. Are you speaking human language too? Zilima looked wrong. Still fanning the wind. Light it up. What do you want? When everyone saw this, they felt that since the discovery of the new world, if he really trusts you, I will definitely open the door and let you in and sit with her. If that's all thrown out, it's not a real girl. Don't because of the little favor in front of me. I think Zhongyi is a great good man. Unless he wants us to live in his house. I just believe he is a good man. I didn't wait for Zilima to continue. Uncle Liu looked at him angrily. Soon. I can't wait to give him a big fight package. Sherry May startled. The baby in my arms is also crying. Hug the baby tightly and say sorry gently. I was wrong. I just did it for your own good. It's okay to think too much in apocalyptic times. Don't say that again. My travelogue light can still tell the difference between good and bad. You sleep in the house by yourself today. Reach the other side. I go to the living room. Sherry May knew that the uncle moved the crop, so obediently choose to avoid. But this doesn't mean he's willing to give up caves and trees. Make up your mind. I'm going to live in the Zhangs no matter what. No matter the cost. Zhongyi's steel castle is once again facing a crisis. Everyone was shocked by the earth-shattering explosion. They are smashing harder. Awakening Zhongyi is no exception, because it was his safe house that was blown up in the depths of winter. The white moonlight shines on the silver earth. Out of habit. Most people still fall asleep around this time. Right here, building 25. Snow in front of the unit. A passage was dug out from the outside. Pretty soon. But when the big man smashed the second time, a chunk of ice and snow suddenly collapsed in front of the unit door. Dozens of people in heavy winter suits rushed out. They had weapons in their hands. After everyone entered the corridor, they deliberately lowered their voices. Let's go up. Go to room 2401, and everyone who just walked to the 10th floor, but accidentally encountered a person who sneaked downstairs. Owner of blood collection. The owner goes straight up without saying a word. It's a gun. But there was a sound of metal colliding. I didn't even have time to scream. Saw the corpse lying on the ground. The leader said to put it here first. Take it back when you're done. Zhang Ye at this time. Zhou Kier is still sleeping soundly. Don't know the danger at all. already slowly approaching them. Blink of an eye. A group of people is silent. The big man let out a scream. He arrived at Zhang Yi's door. They didn't use violence to break down the door. Instead, he directly called a middle-aged man. Old, leave you to be careful. Man comes to the door. Pull the detonator battle directly out of the backpack. I pasted the Zhang family's anti-theft door for 606. After doing all this, everyone hid at the corner of the corner. All I heard was an explosion. The hammer in my hand was thrown away, spread throughout the scenic spot. Everyone was awakened by the sudden sound. Zhang Yi is the first to bear the brunt. Suddenly open your eyes. His eardrums are humming at this moment. Immediately remove the pistol from his space. Turn on the monitoring and check that everything in the house is normal. Zhang Yi breathed a sigh of relief. Randomly check the situation outside the house. It doesn't matter. Someone went over and reached out and peeled the cement off the wall. All new faces. Found a dozen or so sneaky. I have all kinds of weapons in my hand. It's just that their weapons are very characteristic. They're tools used on construction sites. Zhang Yi can see the origin at a glance. It was these little Karamis. They're construction workers in building 26 next door. About 20 people. We lived together during construction. A piece of iron leaked out. Zhang Yi's eyes were cold. Looks like my own home. Word has spread about the abundance of supplies. At this time, everyone walked to Zhang Yi's door. See unscathed rage. Quickly questioned the old donkey. Why can't the old horse carrier even blow up the door? In this case, you also cut corners. The old horse guard once said that this is not right. The explosives I mixed must be fine. The crowd was taken aback. It must be the explosives that got wet. At this time, a worker suggested no. Let's smash it. On the other hand, Zhang Yi finished scanning his house. After confirming that the house is not damaged in any way, the rage in his heart was like an index finger. Since you want me to die, then it depends on whether your life is hard or not. And nobody noticed. A small hole was opened above the iron door. Come and watch. Zhang Yi ignited the Molotov cocktail. It took 0.0001 seconds to throw it out. That's not money. I took out a few white bottles from his space. It's full of white-collar workers. This is also a simple white-collar goal. Zhang Yi doesn't care about the other party's death now. Never been so angry as today. I saw Zhang Yi throw it all out. Instantly the temperature in the air reached over 1,000. This material is actually the same as his door. The corridor turned into a sea of fire. The speed of Zhang Yi's action, completely out of the desire of everyone outside. The screams are like purgatory on earth. My brother's wife asked me to live with her, but I decisively refused the door. Not because of fear of my brother's lightning 5-whip, but Jokir's body is really covered with hair. But what everyone didn't expect was Zhang family. At this moment, someone's inner defense line was broken. Plenty of food has long spread to foreigners. Tian's clan from building 26 sneakily came to the Zhang family. Unexpectedly, he was ruthlessly ravaged by Zhang Yi. After a bottle of white bell bounces to the ground, the corridor instantly turned into a sea of fire. Only 2.5 seconds have passed. It instantly became a purgatory on earth. The old donkey outside the door shouted to save me, but Zhang Yi is still not enough. Wailing, why is this happening? Pick up the pistol. Start shooting at them. The fierce force in the crowd's confusion. I don't know where the gunshot came from. After the charge, soon the body fell in front of the door. The 20 people who came to commit the crime also died instantly. 10 o'clock. The remaining 5 points each. People run like crazy. What nice house has steel walls? Zhang Yi saw this and did not choose to pursue. It not only closes the firing hole slowly. Look at the 98K in your hand just above. It's not a machine gun that you have to buy at a loss. Otherwise, hundreds of bullets will be exhausted. Zhang Yi's face was gloomy. This incident also reminded him. Global ice has eliminated most of it. Only those who survive now are capable. We have to find a way to get more powerful weapons. Some people cannot tolerate this lack. Then Zhang Yi walked to Jokir's room. As soon as I entered the door, I saw her huddled in the corner. Zhang Yi stepped forward to comfort. It's alright. The shocked Jokir asked what was going on. Hearing that Zhang Yi is working in building 26 next door, the construction workers, they want to steal our supplies. At this moment, Jokir suddenly stood up, said I wasn't just afraid. I thought there was an earthquake. Pick up the hammer and hit other places. It's safer to hide in the corner. John 100 Whitehead. Our house has 24 floors. It's really going to be an earthquake. I'll crush it pretty long ago. Joe after calming down, pull Zhang Yi and asked, will they still come? Zhang Yi affirmed his words. But luckily the one who would explode was killed by me. So are we going to take revenge on them? Zhang Yi filial piety will of course take revenge. Hope to find a little block. But not now and not me to report, even if I single-handedly kill them all. But But if I get shot with an iron gun by them, that's not a big lost case. Fortunately, kill the one who can make explosives. Otherwise, it will not be easy to sleep at night. Jo Kier rolled her eyes. You are so doggy and stable. But you don't go out looking for them. So how do we get revenge? Jang Yi was embarrassed in the room. Jang Yi filial piety. We're not the only victims. Oh, I'm so sorry for you. Even the walls of my house. All 20 centimeters alloy materials are used. Missiles can't break. Am I afraid of you, little Karami? Just because. The memory of Jang Yi being murdered in his previous life is too profound. I definitely don't want to experience it a second time. When the house was first inspected, Jang Yi hit it inch by inch with a hammer. Acceptance immediately turns on the room noise reduction function. Everyone is desperate about this. The temperature inside is colder than the snow outside. Looking at the wall in front of you is like a fortress. Cut off their hope of obtaining supplies. Kneel down and cry. Angry roar. Constantly insulting Jang Yi to comfort the little light in my heart. At this time, Chen Zhenghao also realized the seriousness of the center of gravity randomly calls out, what are you in a hurry? Even if their walls are made of steel. Is it also the ground roof? I don't believe it. He can come up with a fortress without dead ends. Jang Yi heard Chen Zhenghao's words through the surveillance camera. Can't help but appreciate this big brother has a good brain. But unfortunately, I'm not stupid. I had a foolproof plan in the first place. Now the neighbors heard Chen Zhenghao's words. They all came to the location upstairs and downstairs of Jang Yi's house. Anyway, they used every means at their disposal. But soon, they plunged deeper into despair. There is no dead end up, down, left, right. It's all surrounded by thick steel plates. Everyone has been busy all morning. Some people are already hungry. Many humans collapsed to the ground. After all, in this ultra-low temperature, the effect cannot be supplemented by food. Will only accelerate their death time. Everyone clutched their shriveled stomachs. The hunger kept coming. Are we all going to starve to death? For wild men can't hold back anymore at the moment. Roar up to the sky. Kneel down and cry. Despair completely distorted his mind. Is there no way? No, there must be a way. Just at this time, Jang Yi's neighbor suddenly walked out. Maybe you can try it. Where there is oppression on our side, there is resistance. Under the apocalypse, everyone was in awe of a bowl of instant noodles. Starving neighbors staged a drunken reversal. Just now, neighbors who smashed the wall for a long time found out. The Zhangs have steel plates up, down, left, and right. Despair completely distorted everyone's heart. Even a very evil idea emerged. Just then, Jang Yi's neighbor next door walked out. One sentence pulled everyone back from the abyss. Maybe you can try the balcony. Jang's balcony is a large floor-to-ceiling window. Maybe there's a chance to break in. Hear what Jang Yi's neighbor said. A group of people who were about to despair looked up violently. At this time, everyone's expressions are extremely evil. Doesn't look like a normal human at all. The desire to live completely overcomes reason. Since his house has windows, there must be an exit. Then they found a big piece of wood. A group of people screaming. Like a madman, he jumped onto Jang Yi's balcony. Soon the small balcony was crowded with a dozen people. At this moment, Jang Yi was sitting on the sofa, drinking the hot dilution. This scene was really unexpected for the next day. Because the neighbors are so pale, plus that extremely distorted expression, it doesn't look like a living person at all. Jang Yi thought to himself at the moment, if there are zombies, that's about their level. Confirmed eyes after 2.5 seconds. Bang, bang, bang sound resounded throughout the community. In the snow under the ice, these lunatics are desperately smashing the pot. Then I saw the temporary neighbors under Jang Yi's table. Totally crazy, even if it hits your own hands and feet. No pain. Jang Yijian's time is right at this time. Put down the teacup in your hand and go to the kitchen. Pick up a homemade Molotov cocktail. Ignite everything in it. When remodeling a house, there have been many terrorist shooters before and after Jang Yi's house. The bottle is driven by the shooting point. A beautiful red line blooms in the sky, falling to the ground in the eyes of the crowd. A crisp sound. The gasoline in the bottle splashed everywhere. The raging fire instantly covered the entire balcony. Jang Yi's mouth revealed a touch of fresh fragrance. Warm up for you people. You don't need to thank me. A dozen people were crammed onto a cramped balcony. It was eroded by the flames before it was too late to run. The person who was burned the most, because of the pain in my hands and feet, fell directly from the 24th floor. With a long scream is a boom. Jang Yi laughed until riding a horse and falling to death was stronger than burning to death. Immediately ignited the second Molotov cocktail. Suddenly, a twisted face stuck to the glass, looking at Jang Yi with a terrified expression. Please help me. Save me, save you. No kidding. If I read it correctly, you should have scolded it just now. The most vicious and ruthless. It only took 2.5 seconds. That person was completely engulfed in flames. Neighbors who just didn't have time to go. I was shaking with fear. Some people also want to go back the same way, grabbing the railing with both hands and trying to climb back. Sion stopped with a weapon in one hand. Go back! Don't implicate us. You are hopeless like this. They are afraid that the flames will burn on them, so I chose to let these people die. Some people just fall off due to exhaustion. Many more are trapped on balconies. The flames burned for nearly 61 minutes. Some even leaned in to run for the fire. A big fire. It brought a touch of warmth to these people that they had not seen for a long time. To deal with Zhongyi, they have sacrificed 30 or 40 people. Despair is in the air. Suddenly, someone jumped to the balcony of Zhang's house, just when Zhang Yi thought, the next batch of them is coming to smash again. Window! I saw the man kneeling in front of the window with a plot. Zhang Yi, I'm starving to death. Please help me. Even give me a little of what's left of your food. Now more and more people are coming. In front of Zhang Yijia's window, trying to win Zhang Yi's sympathy. The dignity of eating for one bite no longer exists. Zhang Yi-san. I went to the window and said, please don't do this. It's a pain in my heart. There's nothing wrong with me. When you feel sick, you need to eat something. Saying that, he raised the lobster noodles in his hand. Everyone's eyes straightened. At this moment, time stands still. Only the interview movement in Zhang Yi's hands. Just then, Zhang Yi? Put the half-eaten noodles in front of the glass window. Don't call me Zhang Yi ruthless. Give you a chance. Who can bring Chen Jinghao's head over? I can take care of his food for a week. Eat until you are full. Of course, Zhang Yi couldn't pity these people. It's just that if they smash windows here every day, it's also really difficult. So let them kill each other. The people in front of the window heard Zhang Yi's words. Can't help but get excited, but also a little scared. After all, Chen Jinghao has a gun in his hand. It's very likely that he hasn't been dealt with before. It was cleaned up by him. Chen Jinghao at this time. See how they don't speak? Did Zhang Yi say something to them? Little did he know that Zhang Yi was talking to the person in front of the window at the same time. The news of the reward for Chen Jinhao has been offered. Sent to the group, Chen Jinhao only felt the chill behind him. What he doesn't know is, if it weren't for the fact that he has weapons now, most likely wiped out by the neighbors. People returning from the balcony of Zhang's family keep staring at Chen Jinhao. Frightened, he quickly shouted, "What do you want to do? Get out of here. Pick up the phone." I just found out that it was Zhang Yi, the turtle grandson. It caught my attention. Chen Jinghao immediately felt bad. Tell the younger brother to go back to the room first. Before I voice shouted, wait a minute, what about the family you left? Chen Jinghao scolded angrily that he couldn't attack. What else could you do? Let's go back and figure out what to do. The crowd at this time. The look in Chen Jinghao's eyes changed. It's like moving food. After this battle, the neighbors are completely cowardly. They don't have much physical strength, almost exhausted. And facing the steel fortress of the Zhang family, they also gave up. One after another, people sent Zhang Yi begging messages. Fei Yuqing said even more excitedly, "Brother Zhang Yi, you were amazing. I knew you'd be fine. Kinger can't get away now. These pigs keep locking me in my house. Don't worry. As soon as I get the chance, I'll run over to you." Zhang Yi's 82-year-old Lafite almost didn't spray it out. This silly white lotus is really big. Smart. The next morning, there are two people lying in ambush in the corridor on the 3rd floor. Apparently yesterday's words have worked. In a desperate state, the fear of death began to fade away. At this time, Chen Jinghao ordered his younger brother to go out to play snow. Give me a dip in the movements. Go back. The two who were hiding instantly felt that an opportunity had come. Now, 1 step and 2.5 steps instantly came to Chen Jinghao's side. A Dragon Slayer sword headed towards Chen Jinghao's reserve. Say the 10 yuan later, the little brother suddenly turned back and shouted, "Brother Hao, be careful behind. End of winter. Just for a pack of crispy noodles." The neighbors are going to hack society with kitchen knives. My brother Hao. Fortunately, there is a younger brother who sleeps. Remind brother Hao to be careful behind. Chen Jinghao is worthy of being the eldest brother. Reaction, that's called a prologue. I just heard 2 gunshots. It was ringing through the neighborhood. 2 neighbors, Ying Sheng, fell down. Then tell the younger brother to drag them out. Before leaving, don't forget that the housewife remembers to chop it up. But Chen Jinghao wasn't any better. At this time, the younger brother behind him said, "Brother Hao, you have been hit with a knife." It turned out that I was too nervous just now. The rush of adrenaline is accelerating. I didn't feel any pain. I saw a thick down jacket. A 25 centimeters opening was cut by a kitchen knife. Hearing my little brother say this, I burst into tears. How dare these 2 little Karami sneak attack? He quickly picked up the phone and called Dr. Joe K. okay, Joe. I'm a little hurt. Please come and help me bandage it. 10 minutes later, Joe Care arrived at Chen Zhenghao's house. Although he was reluctant, but faced with the guns of the wicked, he had no choice. Zhao Ko, who was treating the wound, I saw the hot soup served by my brothers. There was vomiting. Chen Zhenghao said very generously that I can give you a bite. Hearing this, Zhou Qier refused to use it. I'd rather touch these. Damn it. Brother Hao suddenly turned around and stood up, stroking the porridge and saying on the cheek, I don't want you to die. At the end of this cold winter, it's important to have a doctor by your side. If I have to sacrifice you one day, don't worry. You are definitely the last one. Hearing this, Zhou Qier immediately beat his hand away. But just as I was about to leave, I was stopped by my brothers. What do you want? I saw Chen Zhenghao stroking his toy. It's nothing to say. It's just that my injury is not healed. You couldn't leave before. Despite Zhou Qier as resistance forcibly left him helplessly, he could only curl up at the root of the wall. Then Brother Hao and the others began to discuss countermeasures. Everyone, you say a word to me. It's not going to work like this. The residents of the building dared to resist. Extremely bad for us. We can only kill Zhang Yi now. Only by robbing his supplies can it be possible to resist this flood. And finally, everyone agreed to move next door to the dome. I don't believe that this Iron Turtle doesn't go out. Watch him in shifts. Kill him whenever you get the chance. At this time, Zhou Qier was shocked just like Zhou Qier. Then he took the opportunity to go to the bathroom. Chen Zhenghao is so cold that he won't come out for 10 minutes. I'll go in and find you. Don't worry, I won't discuss it. Zhou Ke, after coming to the bathroom, sent the news to Zhang Yi. Chen Zhenghao is ready to live next door to your house, to attack you while you are out. After Zhang Yi learned of the situation, received very casually. Until you stay there and observe the situation, feel free to contact if you have any news. Zhang Yi understood that Zhou Qier was a doctor. For the time being, his life is safe. After all, you still have a level 7, 8, 90 to be my daughter-in-law. Except for Zhou Ke in the bathroom, with Chen Zhenghao and others came to Zhang Yi, next door neighbor's house. The couple opened the door. After arriving at Hao Che, he was very nervous. After learning that Brother Hao was going to live in, husband and wife have no temper. Brother Hao, this will be your home after you live. The younger brothers go and stare at the female homeowner evil. Random. The couple carefully followed Chen Zhenghao. Lead by your side. Unexpectedly, the other party had no martial arts ethics. Unleashed the legendary 5-whip. After being knocked out, he didn't forget to make up for 7,790 per tons. Complete annihilation. Zhou Ke was so scared that he couldn't say anything. Chen Zhenghao said calmly that it was such a cool day. They will die sooner or later. Dr. Zhou, you have to get used to this kind of thing. But don't worry. After my in-laws open a family, you will definitely be the one who accompanies me to the end. Everyone is in danger at the end of the day. Zhang Yi wants to be called red-haired. Do what you were afraid to do before. Wang Min's family at this time. Everyone lay weakly on the sofa. After the failure to attack Zhang Yi's family last time, it's only been 2.5 days. The wound on their arm becomes inflamed. For eyes, we can't help but open the gauze. I want to see how the wound is. And his eyes widened. A face of immortality. Cold sweat flowed all over him in an instant. A stench came over. The four-eyed boy was frightened to tears, screaming until I don't want to die. Don't you want to die? Zhou Peng and the two saw the scene. It was also a shock. Randomly check your own wounds. Better than the four-eyed boy. Zhou Peng immediately found his cousin, Sister Wang. Go and help me beg Zhang Yi again. You can't just watch your brother die. Wang Min rejected his brother. You'd better ask for your own blessing. Zhang Yi will not agree. I can't help it either. White Lotus Fang Yuking heard the screams outside the door. He was so scared that he quickly contacted Zhang Yi. Brother Zhang Yi and the others are going crazy. I've been screaming non-stop. Come and save Kinger, okay? After 2.5 minutes, Zhang Yi's reply came. Your brother is very worried about you looking like this. But your brother Hao lives next door to his brother's house. As soon as I go out, you will definitely let him kill you. Find a chance to run away. Brother is waiting for you at home. Randomly turned off the phone directly. I don't want to hear him avoid it anymore. In the next few days, Zhang Yi is rarely very kind. Take out the tablet and retrieve the monitoring. I want to see what Chen Zhenghao and others are doing. Unexpectedly, I watched a good show directly. At this time, Brother Hao threatened his neighbors with a gun. He is using violence to win over a group of people. Zhang Yi wanted him. Caused him a lot of trouble. There are not many bullets left in my hand in case you encounter a few stunners. I bet you don't have bullets in your gun. Once there are no weapons, Chen Zhenghao will end badly. Therefore, we must take down Zhang Yi as soon as possible. This is not surprising to Zhang Yi. Now everyone is a ghost. Then Zhang Yi called Zhou Qier. How is the situation on your side? At this moment, Zhou Qier is very nervous. Chen Zhenghao and the others have gone crazy. Now all the food has been eaten. They go room by room every day, smash and rub. The weak have become their food. Speaking of which, without a pang of vomiting. Funny to say, the dozens of people you killed actually allowed many people to live a little longer. Suddenly, Jo Kier asked Jong Yi with a stern expression, "Can you still save me?" Jong Yi heard the sentence. I felt the humility of the cold female doctor. Jong Yi thought for a long time. It's hard to find a doctor in the bedroom, and it is more difficult to meet this kind of knowledgeable. We can't let him die. But kill the scientist first in the end. Look at Jo Ken now. Can you be ruthless at a critical time? Then he said, "You help me with one thing. I'll protect you when it's done." Comprehensive at this moment, there was a banging sound outside the door. It was Joe Peng who came. Jong Yi, get out of here. Hide in your room all day. What kind of hero are you? You're a coward. Useless waste. Jong Yi's mouth is right in the door. You're absolutely right. Infection doesn't taste good. Let me guess. The wound on your arm. It's now at least 15 centimeters deep. It's freezing outside. Your body is hot. Bacteria will be in your hotbed. Desperate reproduction. I know that Jong Yi is clearly under the fabric art, but the fear in my heart will never go away. Jong Yi's voice changed to Jo Peng. You know your time is running out. You might as well be alive before you die. Stop doing things you didn't have the guts to do when you were alive. Jo Peng was absent-minded for a while, right? I guess you're right. If you don't do it again, I may never have a chance in my life. Under the end, there is only 1 hour of charging time per day. Everyone hurry up and charge at this time. And Simp has been making movies for over 20 years. Came to Muse but couldn't turn it on. Jo Peng was absent-minded after hearing Jong Yi's words. Liang choked and walked back. The suspended dater is wrapped like an abyss. But with it came anger and I was dying. What else is there to be afraid of? Jo Peng returned home. Go directly to the room where Fang Yuan is being held. Fang Yuan saw Jo Peng and screamed in fright. What do you want? Stay away from me. Jo Peng fell to his knees. He took Fang Yuking's hand and said, Yuking, will you marry me? Fang Yuking frowned and covered her nose tightly. My eyes are full of disgust. I don't want to. Get away from me. Push Jo Peng away with force. At this time, Jo Peng was heartbroken. He sacrificed so much for Fang Yuking, even his own life. Interesting mind has made him lose his mind. Grab Fang Yuking's neck. No, you love me, right? I've bought the kid. Let's go to hell together. Be my woman forever. At this time, Fang Yu asked to use the power of the blood against Jo Peng. It is 666 big enemies. Go away, you bug. It stinks all over. I also need to find my brother Jong Yi. Beaten Jo Peng. The last bit of sanity was gone. Since you don't want to marry me, don't blame me for being ruthless. Jo Ken on the other side. After a night of deliberation, finally, I agreed to Jong Yi. He understood that this was Jong Yi's test for him, although it is also dangerous. But if you don't, in the near future, he will also die at the hands of Chen Zhenghao. Must fight once. Jo Kier walked out of the room and said to Chen, I'm going to help him cook. I hope you can share some food with me. I'm starving to death. Brother Hao laughed with his hands on his hips. Dr. Joe, welcome to join us officially. In order to live without shame, Jo Kier heaved a sigh of relief in her heart. You're right, I don't want to die. I want to live. At this time, Chen Zhenghao thought Jo Kier had figured it out. It's for the best. You are still useful to me now. I don't want to see you die like this. Jo Ken came to the kitchen, seeing how brother and younger brother, their faces are numb. Then he picked up the firewood and chopped it up. This is my little brother. Let Jo Kier help take a look at the food in the pot, and walked out. Jo Kier confirmed that all 4 weeks were safe. Take out the medical white seasoning that has been prepared. Pour it all into the pot. Seeing the food in the pot, I still can't help but ask for it, but still struggling to stir. At dinner in the evening, Jo Kier served a large pot of food to the table. Everyone came over to eat impatient, so as not to arouse suspicion. I also became a bowl of soup. Drove back silently. Own ruin. Chen Zhenghao at this time. I'm still bragging to my younger brothers about how amazing I am. Did you see? Gao Leng's imperial sister also has to let me make a little shit. Jo Kier came to the house finally. He breathed a sigh of relief. Now he just needs to wait for time. Hope there are no accidents, otherwise I will end badly. After a period of time, everyone in the living room fell into a deep sleep. Jo Kier leaned open the door and breathed a sigh of relief when she saw it. Fortunately, the school has to attack on time. He directly picked up his phone and sent a message to Jong Yi. I just gave them a picture. Only about half an hour of safe time. What are you going to do next? Jong Yi replied to him. Drag them all to the balcony. Next comes the heavy lifting. 600 million below zero. There's still water in my faucet. According to the current update speed, Zhang Yi will be out of the community this time next year. Just now, Zhao Ko with a kind heart. 10 tons of sleeping pills to knock society out. Zhang Yi asked him to drag everyone to the balcony. Then he followed Zhang Yi's request. Relying on everyone out, Zhou Qi'er did all this. Zhang Yi stood in front of the window and saw clearly. Zhou Qi'er asked at this time, "What am I going to do next? Are you going to kill them?" However, Zhang Yi smiled contemptuously. "Throw him a bundle of rope. Really kill them. But not me, but you." Zhang Yi pointed to the rope on the balcony. "First tie their hands to me, on the railing. In addition, find Chen Jinghao's pistol for me." At this time, Zhou Qi'er has not eaten for 2 days. Drag everyone to the balcony again. Severe physical exertion. Then he asked, "Can't you come and help?" Zhang Yi said that "I don't want to capsize in the gutter. Do as I say." I wouldn't take the slightest risk. Seeing Zhang Yi so cautious, Zhou Ke was helpless. Then tie everyone up one by one. Just as he was about to take out Chen Jinghao's pistol, Zhang Yi immediately aimed at Zhou Qi'er. "Slowly remove the magazine from the gun and throw it to me." Zhou Qi'er said with a look of grievance, "How can I trust you? In case I mean in case." Zhang Yi interrupted him directly. "Now your surname is Wang. You have no other choice." Zhou Qi'er only hesitated for 2.5 seconds. "Just remove the magazine and throw it away." I caught it firmly. I watched it seriously for 2.5 years. Confirmed. It is the gun used by Chen Jinghao in the surveillance. Then Zhang Yi walked back into the house. "Tell Zhou Qi'er that you should go back to your room first. Leave the rest to me." Just then, Zhang Yi suddenly pulled out a piece of fruit from the room. "Open the valve and go directly to Chen Jinghao and others. Give them a cold shower in this freezing moment." Zhou Ke looked at the crowd in front of him and couldn't help but sigh. Frozen to death like this. It's too cruel, but safe and effective. This is due to the initialization of ice water. Let Brother Hao and others slowly wake up. Everyone watched in horror as everything happened in front of them. Yell until something happens. "How? Why are you here?" At this time, Brother Hao looked shocked. Keep thinking about what happened. "Did I get drugged?" Suddenly raised his head and shouted Zhang Yi. I saw Zhang Yi's joke on Corinne's face. "You're almost there. It's time to send you on your way to meet the King of Hell." Random twisted well valve. It took 88 tons of water to pour on them. 66 degrees below zero. In just 500 years, they were frozen into ice. At this moment, Zhang Yi was admiring his masterpiece on the opposite side. Community bully. After a few minutes, Zhou Qi'er connected Zhang Yi's phone. "You did a good job. Dr. Zhou, you passed my test. You can come over now." Hearing this, Zhou Qi'er fell to the ground with a flop. "The boulder in my heart has finally fallen." And he shuddered and said, "Okay, I'll be there right now. Our daughterly no one. I'm finally going to live in Zhang Yi's house." Just now, Zhou Qi'er perfectly completed the task assigned by Zhang Yi. The community bully who endangers one party, Chen Jinghao. Then he said righteously that "You can come over now. Congratulations on passing the test." Zhou Qi'er doesn't care about anything either. "You can leave this hellish room." Gang's translation version of the door at this time. 999 locks have been opened. 998 immediately stared at the surveillance. As long as there is a little abnormality, Zhang Yi will watch it without hesitation. Fortunately, Zhou Qi'er in the monitoring is all normal. The system also did not scan for any danger. Then Zhang Yi said that "You can come in," and kept aiming the gun at the door. The door is heavy. Zhou Qi'er barely opened it with his remaining strength, just when there was a gap in the door. The temperature in the house makes Zhou Qi'er excited and familiar. So he ramped it up. The moment he pushed the door open, he took one step. Zhang Yi hurriedly closed the door. At this moment, Zhou Qi'er fell to the ground. It's like stepping into paradise. The cold feeling that covered my whole body before is slowly fading, and 2.5 seconds later, you're sweating profusely. At this time, Zhang Yi came behind Zhou Ke. "Did you forget something important?" Zhou Qi'er just reacted. "There's another man behind me." Random asked in surprise. "I have done as you said. Isn't that enough to win your trust?" Zhang Yi directly approached his red cheek. "Solve them. Just to prove that you have some effect on me." But next, how do you prove that you are harmless?" The atmosphere at this time. When it comes to a very wonderful, Zhou Qi'er looked at Zhang Yi eagerly. "So what do you want me to do to believe it?" Zhang Yi's chin and blood are small. "Very simple. Prove to yourself that you have no hidden weapons against me. After all, you have determined to be in the same boat as me. We shouldn't be honest with each other." Zhou Qi'er is a smart woman. What should he even give? "What do you get?" Then Zhou Qi'er took off her coat. Zhang Yi checked for 2.5 years. Didn't find any difference. Very good, your attitude is very good. Then handed Joe Kier a bath towel. You go take a shower first. It's been hard on you for so many days. Saying that, he pushed him into the bathroom. I actually told him kindly, a lady's change of clothes has been prepared for you. This is a fan according to your body size. Overnight customization. Please try if it fits. Fans love it. Look at Joe Kier washing in the bathroom for 2.5 years. I didn't find Johnny in the room. It's kind of boring. Talk to you later. During this period, Johnny took all the items in his clothes. All confiscated. Put into a space. Soon after, Joe Kier came out wearing changed clothes. Thank you for your dress, it's just the right size. Jong Hyun said that is natural. Yesterday, the fans booked it for you overnight. Come and sit. At this time, Johnny gently helped Joe Kier blow her hair, while saying you have to understand. I'll let you in. It's because you still have some value to me, but you must remember that this is my gift to you, so you must obey my orders completely. If you have a bit of a crooked mind, I will kill you without mercy. Joe Kier couldn't help but sigh in her heart that it was really cold-blooded. Jongyi reached out and pointed to another room. You will live there in the future. The whole house is monitored at all locations. Hope you understand. If you are meaningful, you can leave now. At this time, Joe Kier's face blushed a little. Okay, I'll listen to you and give up. Jongyi couldn't help but sigh. Communicating with smart women is panic. Both hands keep fiddling with Joe Kier's show. Hitting his hard pounding. The little face was slightly red and suddenly approached Joe Kier's cheek. Now, I'm going to tell you a secret. You listen carefully. Joe Kier was stunned by the secret when she heard the words. How dare you tell me your secret? Joe Kier arrived at Jane's family on the first day. Just tried to sleep without underwear. I actually slept for 2.5 years. Just now. After taking a shower, Joe Kier came to the sofa and sat down. Jong Yi suddenly decided to tell him a secret of his own. Joe Kier's eyes widened in surprise, a face of disbelief. He felt that someone as cautious as Jong Yi shouldn't tell him secrets easily. Just understand. Then Jong Yi said to tell you the secret. Also to ensure your absolute loyalty to him. I believe you saw it too. Because of this snow disaster. It's because of gamma ray bursts. This ray, it will have a certain impact on the human body, may cause mutation in the human body. And I'm the chosen one. Obtain an independent and undestroyed space. Joe Kier heard that the suburbs went to the inheritance. Jongyi continued to wait regardless of Joe Kier's surprised expression. The reason why I can live so well until now, it is because before the end of the world, I have a lot of supplies stored in my space. Therefore, only I am alive. You can only hope to enjoy these benefits. In order to make Joe Kier completely trust, Jongyi took out a ton of biscuits from a space on the spot. Seeing Jongyi was like magic. Joe Kier was shocked, more like Joe Kier. Then throw him a bag of food. Hungry for 2.5 days, forage box. When he saw the food, he didn't dare to move. Just keep staring. Because such a big bag of food is outside. That was the mouth of a large family for several days, enough to make both groups work hard. Jongyi saw Joe Kier's expression. Also very satisfied. Say lightly, eat it. That one is for you. Hearing this, Joe Kier couldn't help it anymore. Like a starving ghost reincarnated. I ate for 2.5 days. Johnny intimately started as a clerk on the side, for fear of choking a beautiful woman for the rest of her life. Hastily handed out a glass of water. Then Johnny told the rules of living here. I hope you are more sensible. Cleaning the house in the future. Cooking these things don't let me arrange. Take the initiative yourself. If you want to get supplies, you have to rely on your own labor. Joe Kier nodded again and again. I understand. Master Jong one by one. Is this little girl sensible? No wonder he became an attending doctor at such a young age. The next second, Joe Kier hugged Jongyi closely. In this apocalypse, for the first time, he felt the warmth of home. This night is destined to be a long one. I finished it for you, it's kind of boring. Talk to you later. The next morning, Jongyi came to Joe Kier's room. I see he's not up yet. I can't help but pity Xiangshu. Knocked gently on the door, asked if you want to get up and eat something. Joe Kier sniffed the smoke lightly, immediately got up and picked up his gray eyes.